Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to Clutch Gaming Summer Split Academy Week 1, Day 1, as Clutch Gaming versus OpTic Gaming. Clutch Gaming is on the blue side, while OpTic Gaming is going to be on the red side here. Up in the top lane, we have Rodolph in the jungle, Major Danger in the mid lane, Sun, and in the bot lane, Cody, Sun, and Joey once again taking the bot lane together. Now, first couple bans we have Yuumi, Ryze, Aatrox, and Aurelia. We've seen them be a very strong pick, and surprised that Clutch Gaming decided to go with the Ryze ban, even though they're on the blue side. Could have been an opportunity for them, but maybe want to try something else and don't want the opportunity for OpTic Gaming. Sona as well going to be banned out. So that's two supports being focused. Now Gate is going to have to choose someone else. And we've seen Sona and Yuumi be a pretty dominant force. And in the last couple of games, or at least the first two games of this split, Yuumi had some potential in the bot lane, but it did not work out for either team. So definitely interesting ban, but we'll see how that goes through for OpTic Gaming, what they're going to ban out last. Jace is going to be the final one taken away, and those are the 6 bans. As you see, Aatrox, Aurelia always been a very strong pick and a flex pick that can be moved around from the top mid lane. And now we're going to see Clutch Gaming take away the Sylas. Sylas, very strong champion in the hands of many players. Sun and Rodolph could flex that between which role they want to have it for them. OpTic Gaming as well. Akali and the Xayah have been picked up. And now Dardoch is the one who picked up the Xayah, so there is a chance that they can have the Rakan with it if it's not going to be picked up by Clutch Gaming here. But Clutch Gaming looks like they're going to take it away so they can't have the Lovers bot lane together, as it is a very strong and hard combo to go against when you're trying to figure out a bot lane composition. Now, we have the Rek'Sai being shown and going to be grabbed by Clutch Gaming. Very interesting pick by them, very aggressive. Wouldn't be surprised if Cody Sun tries to go for the Tristana, maybe even the Kalista, to have that early aggression in the bot side to go along with the Rek'Sai. But in the mid lane, that Sylas may be going against the Akali unless Crown wants to have it in the mid lane. Ooh, okay, Leona pick. Definitely an interesting one, but can do very well against the Rakan. In that kind of laning phase, Leona does fairly well against the Rakan to lock him down and hold him in a position, making it very difficult for Joey to make an engage. So I like this pick by OpTic. Now the second half of the banning phase has begun. OpTic has about 5 seconds left to decide what they want to look for. Now they're going to focus on these 80 carry bans. Cody Sun still does not have his 80 carry locked in, and if they can take away these options from Clutch Gaming, there is a chance for the bot lane of OpTic to have a better opportunity in the early stages and maybe going on to that mid game. Now, Clutch Gaming going to focus on the Rengar. We saw it last game, and it actually did very well. The Rengar was able to get his team ahead and push the game in their favor. Now 8 seconds left for OpTic Gaming. I'm liking these bans out of both teams. It's really focusing on the composition that they want. And Lucian is going to be taken away. We see Clutch Gaming is going to go for that very aggressive style of composition here. So taking away the Ezreal and the Lucian, two champs who can play fairly aggressive, especially that Lucian, is going to hurt Cody Sun a little bit more. So I'm interested in seeing if he might go for the Jinx for maybe to have a late game style for his team, or the Tristana. I do like the Tristana on Cody Sun. We've seen it a couple times before. And the Lux is going to be the final ban for Clutch Gaming. We've seen Lux be both played in the support and mid lane role in the LCS. Lux, definitely something that could be flex pick, so they want to take that away and that potential from that mid lane if it's going to be going up against the Sylas or something else. The Clutch Gaming might have something else in mind in the mid lane that they don't want to have that kind of matchup. And now OpTic Gaming are going to go for the Olaf jungle. Alright, with the Olaf jungle, it does do fairly well in the early game to duel the Rek'Sai, which gives OpTic the advantage here in the jungle when it comes to these 1v1 duels or even these 2v2 duels when a lane decides to walk up and try to help out their jungler in the fight. And now we're going to see, okay, this is going to probably be a Pyke top lane or mid lane. We're going to have a little flex between the Sylas and which role they're going to go on, but that is going to be a Kai'Sa Rakan bot lane. I like this Kai'Sa pick. very strong champion in the early game and can definitely do well in the later end. Now, we are going to see the Neeko grabbed in the final pick here. Neeko can go in the mid lane or in the top lane. We've seen Neeko do very, very well as an on-hit champion up in the top side, forcing the enemy away. And it does have a little bit of trouble in the early game. As soon as you get some of the items, the Blade of the Ruin King, the Rage Blade, and get yourself further ahead, the Neeko should be able to dominate and have some advantage. But when you're looking at it, you're going against the Pyke. That makes it a little bit more difficult. He's going to be very aggressive. He's going to try to get some CS and maybe some poke down on you. But I feel like Neeko can play fairly safe and get an advantage for herself. We're just going to get into the game in just a moment. We do have the spectators delay because we are in the client. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to check, see what we got going on here. But based on what we have with the pick and ban phase, I'm liking the way OpTic really banned out Clutch Gaming, making sure that they try to focus down on Cody's son. Cody's son has a lot of potential to his name and also has shown that he's a very strong player. He brings a breadth of LCS experience to Clutch Gaming Academy from his time on Immortals and 100 Thieves over the past few years. A couple other things about the Clutch Gaming team. Their coach, before joining Clutch, Connor coached for GGEA and Lourdes University, and he also enjoys watching soccer in his free time. Just little fun facts about the coach himself for the Academy team. And one thing that I liked that the coach did say was that the Academy is not about the results for himself, but it is about how the players improve and see how the players can get themselves further ahead in their game in League of Legends, which is definitely something that should allow for Clutch Gaming to bring their team in a better spot in the upcoming Academy League. Now on the top side, we do have Rodolph, who Tom previously played in collegiate for U of MB and on GGEA amateur team. So he did have an opportunity to play along Connor, the coach, and now has participated in the 2017 Scouting Grounds, which is where he was picked up by Clutch Gaming. In the jungle, Major Danger, after taking a break from the university after last May, he joined GGA once again and eventually got picked up by Clutch Gaming after performing well in the tryouts. In the mid lane, you have Sun, used to be known as ZX or ZX League of Legends. He was a Z one-trick in solo queue and also a very good streamer, so you can go check him out if he has an opportunity to stream while he is not practicing. But at the same time, now you know there is a chance we could see a possible Zed pick if he feels comfortable enough to bring it out in the mid lane, and if Zed gets strong enough for that kind of potential. Bottom lane, we talked about AD carry Cody's son, and in the support role, Joey came from Team Liquid Academy, getting him and his team very close to the finals. He did not get the wins that he wanted, but I feel like with him on Clutch Gaming, they should be able to bring it home for them. He was also a sub on CLG a few years ago, and when he was a sub on CLG, there was one point where Stixay was having some trouble and had to go to the hospital, which meant Joey would take over as support, and Aframood played as the ADC. So Joey does have some LCS experience and being a part of CLG. So now with these players coming together, I believe Clutch Gaming has an opportunity to make it up to the finals and make it as the #1 team in the Academy League. They're looking strong, and I cannot wait for this game to get going between them and OpTic Gaming. I'm going to wait a little bit longer before this gets started. Seeing a couple things in the chat, just trying to read and see what's going on. See a couple pings when LCS. When McDonald's, fair enough. But at the very moment, I do like the interesting picks that we've seen. We've seen the Pyke in the top lane. We've seen a couple different things that have popped up, like the Rengar. The Rengar is something that you usually don't see pop up very often, but is definitely an interesting pickup. And we saw last game, if you were watching the the League of Legends eSports stream, you were able to see the Academy game, I believe it was between 100 Thieves and CLG, and CLG brought out the Rengar. It did very well, like I said earlier on. It was able to get Silas ahead, and Tuesday in the mid lane did so well on that Silas, able to keep up the pressure and manage the waves, allowing for his team to slowly but surely gain the lead and then end the game and go 1-0 at the start Now, one thing to note, we do have a game tomorrow night. Make sure you keep an eye out for that game. That game is going to be at 3 o'clock tomorrow against Cloud9 Academy. And as we saw today, Cloud9 Academy was looking strong. So there is a chance this is going to be an intense match between Clutch Gaming Academy and Cloud9 Academy. So do not miss that one. Now we should be in game in just a moment here. Now we're set ourselves in. Here we go. Clutch Gaming on the blue side, but we have OpTic Gaming on the red side here. OpTic Gaming going to start out all together except for the Olaf. They may look for a potential collapse here in case they do decide to roam on forward, but looks like Clutch Gaming is just going to back off here and hold all the points to make sure that no vision is going to be taken control of. Now, by using the Nico's passive to try to trick Clutch Gaming, they don't know where Dardoch is actually going to be starting. And this pressure here into the jungle, allowing for them to get the vision on where Major Danger could possibly be, is a good start for OpTic Gaming. Now, Rodolph tried to get some vision for himself and try to counteract it, but the only vision that he was able to get with the help from Major Danger was the ward in the top side brush. Not too bad for him, but definitely a better start for OpTic Gaming if they do get some vision off of it. But because Joey did spot it out originally, and Major Danger definitely has the opportunity to go around and make his way so that OpTic will not be able to know where he has started on the map. Major Danger will start on the bot side as well as Dardoch is going to start on the bot side. And one thing to note, Asta and Gate are not going to actually help Dardoch clear this one out to make it seem as if he's starting on the top side instead. It's going to hurt Dardoch just a little bit, but because of the healing from Dardoch's W, he should be able to sustain through the blue buff and then trick out the rest of Clutch Gaming, giving them a little bit of an advantage here. A couple of pings coming out between both teams, but one thing that I want to see from Clutch Gaming and in this early game is a lot of pressure from Major Danger when it comes to ganking. You have a lot of potential with Rakan, Silas, Pyke. All three champions have really good engagement. But here on the bot side, Gate's going to go on in. Not going to find anything to follow up. Joey's going to be able to get himself away. A nice engage from Gate there. So there is a potential as soon as they hit around level 2, level 3 for Gate and Asa to deal a fair amount of damage. But you do have to worry about the fact if Joey is able to manage with Cody's son, they should be having no issues down here, but the Leona pick definitely going to be stronger for them when the levels start ranking up. And one thing I was saying, OpTic Gaming, what I want to see, from Clutch Gaming, what I want to see for them first is that early aggression because all their lanes have really good potential for Major Danger to gank. OpTic Gaming, what I want to see from them is that aggression on the bot side as they hit level 3, level 4. And also, I want to see Dardoch try to get into the enemy jungle to possibly make a play or get some damage onto Major Danger, forcing him away. And that is exactly what Dardoch is going to look for here. He's going to try to steal away the blue buff. And now Major Danger realizes it and is going to have to go to the opposite side of the map. He's going to lose his potential, which means Dardoch now has 3 starting buffs in his favor. He's gotten both blue buffs and the red buff, which is going to be very good for him going against Major Danger. He lost a fair amount of CS and experience now, and should allow for OpTic Gaming to take advantage in the early stages. And this is the one thing that you have to keep an eye out for is if Dardoch knows that Major Danger is going to be very aggressive and want to look for these plays, he needs to decide what is he going to do to try to counteract that. And that's exactly what he did there. He decided to go for the blue buff first and trick the enemy team so that Major Danger would actually not go straight to the blue buff right away and try to make his round on the bottom side, clear that all out, and then go to the top side. And Dardoch was successfully able to take that away, which is going to hurt Major Danger's early game and allow for Dardoch to keep the pressure up in the enemy jungle as long as it's possible. He has been spotted out, but one thing to note is that most of the jungle for Dardoch has already been taken away, which is going to keep OpTic Gaming in favor right here. They do have about a 0.6k gold lead at the very moment. Not too bad for them, but very nice start in the first 4 minutes of this game. Now I want to see a little trade in the mid lane. Crown and Sun going back and forth. Crown's going to use dash to get himself away, but Both of them are now about to half HP. Sun's going to go on in looking for Crown. Crown's going to get knocked on up, getting very low. He's got the Shroud to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. Dardoch's making his way on over, and Crown almost gets taken down. Sun does not have the Ignite to follow up, but that teleport should be very helpful for him, as Crown does not have teleport to equalize it. Crown now being forced to recall away, but now Gate is on the mid lane. Dardoch going to look for Sun. He still has his flash and being forced to flash away immediately, as that could have been really bad for him. And having the bot lane or the support for OpTic Gaming moving up, it is going to give a huge advantage for them, or at least equal out the advantage that Sun was giving to himself and the rest of Clutch Gaming here. Now, Clutch Gaming needs to look for something pretty soon. If Major Danger is able to get some CS for himself and make his way down to the bot side, they could possibly look for a play. But Dardoch here trying to read for something. There is a ward in the brush, so Dardoch is waiting as far away as possible to make sure. He will be spotted out pretty soon. But Major Danger is on the opposite side of the map. This could be bad for him, but I think this ward should be able to keep them safe for a fair amount of time. Now Joey's going to go on in. He does get stunned up, and he's going to be able to get back to Cody Sun. Cody Sun is the target, take a lot of damage, but the nice shield from Joey should be able to help him sustain through that fight. Little skirmish between those two bot laners, and not going to have a problem with it in the end. Dardoch now trying to clear out as much as he can around this dragon to make sure that Clutch Gaming has no advantages. Clutch Gaming here could look for a potential mid lane play, or even down to the bottom half of the map. One thing else to note, Sun does not have his flash after that play, which means Crown can play pretty aggressive, and Dardoch can try to maybe gank this one as well. Dardoch is waiting in the brush. Sun now in mad spot. Axe has been thrown forward. Sun's able to get himself away. Knockup's going to follow up through. Dardoch now down to a half HP, now going on forward. Sun tries to take the ultimate away. He's going to flash on forward to get the first blood for his team. The perfect execute, get himself away for a little bit longer. Joey will get a two-man knockup follow up and get 2 kills for the rest of OpTic Gaming, and that is 2 kills to 1 for OpTic. They do lose their jungler, but by picking up the mid lane and jungle, this should allow for Crown to push out the wave, allow for Sun to lose some CS, and give OpTic Gaming a little bit more favor in this early game, which is quite surprising, especially when you have this very aggressive style of composition from Clutch Gaming. This is what you want to see out of OpTic, and they're playing this perfectly. I think as soon as the level 6 advantages come up, which is at this very moment or very, very soon, looking at the bot lane, there should be a lot more plays being made by Clutch Gaming. It wasn't too bad when you look back on that fight. Sun went back on in. They had the advantage with Major Danger making his way on over. The flash was nice to get the first blood. But then it did seem like because OpTic had the pressure, they were able to make their way on over faster than Cody Sun and Joey were able to. And it doesn't seem like they had the kind of damage to get through Gate and Asta at the same time. Now the bot side, double knockup from Joey. The rest of Clutch Gaming making their way on over. Major Danger is there. He doesn't have his flash, but Sun now looking for something. Ultimate's going to go on through and land onto Gate. Cody Sun picks up a kill for himself, and that should allow for Clutch Gaming to slowly give themselves the advantage to try to look for this mountain drag. Now they will clear out all the vision here on the bottom side. If they clear out all the vision on the bottom side, it should allow for a potential 10 to 12 minute dragon pick. Dardoch's going to decide to just take away the blue buff and keep Major Danger down. Every kind of play that he makes, he's going to try to go against it with something else, and that's what you will see in every single game of the LCS Academy or in the major scene. Either way, but now, there you go. 10 minute mark not hit, but a little bit earlier than I expected. Mountain Drake is going to go over to Clutch Gaming. That's the first dragon to them, and that's going to help them out here as they are not far behind in gold. That gives them a little bit more advantage. And you know, the Mountain Drake is definitely something you want in the early stages, because if you are able to keep the pressure up and get to those plates, you get extra gold for yourself very easily with the help from the Mountain Drake. A couple pings in the mid lane. Crown maybe looking for something here, potentially onto Sun. Sun doesn't have much mana, so Major Danger is going to play around the mid lane across the wall just in case. It's going to make his way onto the top side, but most of the top side farm has been taken away, I believe, by Dardoch. Dardoch has been spotted out, not too much you can look for here. But now, because it is 2-2, the Mountain Drake is in Clutch Gaming's favor. and they are being pressured up on every single lane, it will actually just deny OpTic for right now on getting any plates a little bit easier. Okay, Rodolph stopping the back from Dardoch is going to help him out because Dardoch now cannot reset just in time. And because Sun doesn't have any mana, looks like OpTic Gaming are going to decide to try to dive Rodolph here, as it is a wise play, or maybe even look for the first turret up on the top side. Crown is still being spotted out. He realizes that there's potential for a ward, so he's going to clear it out and use the ping. Teleport coming out in the mid lane. So now with Sun, using that teleport should allow him to push out the mid lane wave. Now, oh, okay, nice. We got to engage from OpTic Gaming to get the first kill right away by Asta, and that is going to be a lot of damage. Clutch Gaming trying to follow up and not able to get anything from that. But the ray of sunshine comes on down, and Asta picks up another kill for himself. That's 2 kills over to the OpTic Gaming ADC. And on the top side, the wise play from OpTic Gaming is able to get themselves the first turret. Got to give it to OpTic Gaming. Dardoch and the rest of their team playing this super well, being able to go against that early aggression from Clutch Gaming, but never, ever put a team out of the fight. Clutch Gaming still have an opportunity as Sun and Cody Sun are still fairly strong at the very moment. If they could possibly look for something here, maybe get a couple picks and stay alive, they should be able to find an objective to their advantage. Now, Clutch Gaming realized there's a chance they're going to go for this Herald as the top side was just taken down. So Joey and Major Danger make their way on over. Now they're going to look for Crown. Crown's the main focus. He uses the perfect execute to get himself away. And the ultimate is just going to be used to keep himself alive for a little bit longer, but by having those 3 members move up to the top side, they push the rest of the team away and allow for a potential Clutch Gaming grab for that Herald. If they're able to get that Herald for themselves, pop it in the mid lane, which is already down to 3 plates, that can be huge for them because, as we know, the Herald will take down at least 2 plates. But now in the mid lane, Crown's going to be the target. The chain is going to miss. A lot of damage onto him, but Major Danger is there. Shroud's going to be used. Crown is on the opposite end. Now Joey's there to help out just in case anything decides to go off if OpTic Gaming try to re-engage that fight. But it doesn't look like anything is going down. Looking at the items and the CS difference here, I'm surprised Sun decided to back off here. He was hurting a little bit in the mana, but at the same time, Crown is so far ahead in CS and doing very well that the gold amount... Okay, wait a minute. In the top side, Lerm looking for a play. He's actually going to flash on forward. Rodolph's going to flash away from that root, and so that is going to be a flash for a flash. And that is actually a big deal here on the top side because now that allows for Aliram to make these aggressive plays with Dardoch in the jungle or even keep the split push power up to their advantage because you saw how much damage as soon as he got the Blade of the Rune King. It wasn't much that Rodolph could do to try to go against it. Dardoch now is going to be forced away. The rest of Clutch Gaming making the way up to this Herald. They want to grab this Herald for themselves, and the rest of OpTic Gaming's bot side is going to keep the pressure down there as the rest of Clutch... Oh, okay, in the mid lane. We're going to see a fight there. Now, Sun is going to have to use the perfect execute to get himself away for a little bit longer. Now, Joy follow up with the ultimate. Nicely done! Cody Sun should be able to pick up a kill for himself. Crown with a beautiful stopwatch. Keep himself alive. Pop Blossom has begun. Cody Sun has to use the cleanse to get himself away. But now, because the Herald has been grabbed, Clutch Gaming should be able to get this mid lane turret and open up the game for them. Now, George will flash on forward and almost get the knock up on the Crown, but Crown gets himself away with his own flash. And the rest of Clutch Gaming pushing on forward as OpTic Gaming's bot lane is still down there, and they need to make their way on up to try to counter this. This aggression from Clutch is looking so good right now. They get themselves 2 mid lane turrets, which is huge at the very moment. And OpTic's got to try to do something to go against that, and they can't. It's going to hurt them in the long run. Dardoch keeps throwing the axes out. Sun's going to be taken very low. Dardoch now is the target. He's going to be taken down, and Major Danger will find the kill for his AD carry. Cody Sun gets the kill, but Major Danger will be followed up and taken down by Crown, and that is 2 kills over to the OpTic Gaming mid laner as Cody Sun picks up his 2nd kill as well. With the amount of aggression that Clutch Gaming had there in the mid lane, able to pick up both turrets, that means that they're going to be probably very low. And because Major Danger was taken down, that allows for OpTic Gaming to turn this around in their favor and go for this mid lane turret to try to counter what Clutch Gaming just did to them. And this allows for all tier 1 turrets to be taken down and have complete control over these objectives. The Baron is going to come up around 20 minutes, and the Dragon is up at the very moment. It's going to be that Windrake, and I feel like if Clutch Gaming can grab this win streak for themselves, it will be so much better to push their success forward, as well as OpTic. But because Clutch is trying to look for these pick potentials of these plays, they need to have that win streak to keep themselves moving across the map, especially when their tier 1 is down. As you have the tier 2, you're going to need more speed to get around quickly, and you only have these, you have 2 teleports. I would not say only, but you have these 2 teleports from the mid and the top lane, which should help you out a lot, but this Cloud Drake will give you just enough to push around. Crown in the mid lane, the rest of the team on the bot side for OpTic Gaming, but the kind of plays we wanted to see from OpTic Gaming did happen, but now it does look like because Clutch Gaming was able to counter it with the Herald in the mid lane, they do open up a lot more opportunities. And so OpTic Gaming realized there's not any objectives left. What is the other options for Clutch Gaming here? To either get the top lane turret or the bot lane turret. They pushed out the bot lane turret so they don't have to worry about that. The rest of Clutch Gaming are going to be on the top side. So now they're going to make their way over to the mid lane as the minion wave is going to keep the pressure. There's a chance Clutch could look for a play here. All 4 of them now going to clear out the wave before anything happens. Gate's going to look for something. It does miss. The rest of the team here, this is going to be a 5v4. Teleport still on Illyrium. Ult has been stolen. Now they're going to look for something. Teleport's coming through. The Sun is going to take down Major Danger. He's going to try to flash away, but he's still going to be taken down. The unstoppable force from Dardak pushes on forward. Crown looking for something. Sun taken very low. The rest of OpTic Gaming pushing on forward, trying to look for something. Rodolph not able to follow with the pull. And this will hurt Clutch Gaming right now, as one member still will have to back away, as well as one of their members is dead. And they should be able to get this mid lane turret. There's not much of a wave here, so actually they're going to have to back off here as the cannon wave makes its way on over. But if Clutch Gaming decide to back off here, this should allow for OpTic Gaming to try to keep up the pressure on all sides of the map. And this is where it gets more difficult for OpTic Gaming. They have all tier 1s down. What is their next focus? You know what Clutch Gaming's focus is, and that's the top lane and bot lane turret. It did seem like they wanted to try to look for a pick potential play with the execute ultimate from Rodolph, but Major Danger once again got caught out there in that fight, and they were able to turn it in their favor. So OpTic Gaming, what they need to do is try to wait for this next objective, or potentially try to make a play and force a 5v5 fight, because as we've seen, the 5v5 play is definitely in their favor, as Clutch Gaming does look like they're more focusing on trying to get 1 or 2 picks and then look for an objective rather than going for a full-fledged fight. So, OpTic Gaming, options: fight or objective. And objectives are not their key option right now, so next possible is fight. Rest of OpTic Gaming being spotted out. Clutch Gaming looking for something. Sun is there on the gate. Chain is going to miss. Almost gets in there. If they could potentially get a pick on the gate, that would have been pretty big for them to push out one of the lanes. Crown wisely on the bottom side, keeping the pressure up, not allowing for Clutch Gaming to get that bot lane turret. And as well as Illyrium and the top side pushing it out, not allowing for Rodolph to do anything here. Joey making his way on up. Illyrium knows that the rest of the team is making their way, so he's going to try to push himself back as far as possible. And we'll lose a little bit. Sun is disadvantaged here. Crown may look for a play fully under the turret. He does land the E. Will he followed up? Does not look like it, as he realizes Major Danger is making his way on over. And wisely just going to try to push him away, as the rest of the team may be looking for something here. Major Danger's on the opposite side of the wall. Sun's very low. Major Danger now should be in a 2v1 situation. Crown doesn't have a shroud, so he should be taken down without a problem. Sun finds the kill. And the teleport's going to come on through from Rodolph. Little bit late, not exactly what they wanted to have there. Not allowed to cancel that, so that should allow for Illyrium to get a little bit of damage on that turret, and that is a loss of teleport from him. It will not hurt him too bad, because Illyrium already had his teleport taken down from that mid lane 5v5 fight, but because it is about half cooldown difference, in about 2 minutes and 50 seconds, Illyrium will definitely have the advantage when this Baron is coming up, which is a big deal for either side. If Illyrium is able to have that advantage with the teleport, they should be able to look for a bear play. I'm guessing there's a little bit of a misclick there by Asta. Not exactly sure what he wanted to look for there. But hey, you never know. I guess it happens. Alright, now Baron and Dragon are coming up very, very soon. I'm not sure specifically what that Dragon is going to be just yet. There we go. It's going to be another Windrake which could help out Clutch. Not the best dragon that you want to see right now for Clutch. Clutch wants to see more of that Ocean, Mountain, or Infernal. To all three, to be honest, never a bad option for you. That Wind Drake, not going to do too much for you. I'd prefer the Infernal Drake or the Mountain, but it doesn't look like Clutch is going to get too many advantages towards the objectives, so Infernal will be their best bet. They need more source of damage to their team, because as you saw, when OpTic Gaming did decide to go on in and try to counter Clutch Gaming's advances, they had so much more damage to them and was able to turn the fight in their favor. Now the dragon is up, and OpTic have the advantage down here on the bottom side, so they should be able to take this up without a problem. Clutch Game is going to have to just clear out some vision for themselves on the top side of the map and make sure they have this Baron control. Couple of pings out at the very moment. In the mid lane, there is more pings of assist. They may want to look for a potential play once again from Clutch Gaming onto OpTic. Cody's the first one to walk on forward. The rest of the team making their way. Rodolph is on the bottom side of this fight. Nice two-man knock-up. Threes are going to be charmed up. A lot of damage coming through. Cody finds one. The second kill is going to go over to OpTic Gaming. Will they be able to find the rest? Crown finds one for himself, and the rest of OpTic Gaming pick up a couple of kills. Now Liam going to push on forward, allow for Dardoch to keep his life. But that is going to be 3 kills for OpTic Gaming and 2 kills for Clutch Gaming in the end of that fight. Dardoch got taken very low, forced away his flash. And now that both parties will just go away back to their bases, get themselves some gold after that fight, some shutdown gold, which will be big for Clutch in the end. The Clutch Gaming picking up those bounties, allowing for them to get an advantage back into this game, should help them out just a little bit. They still are down 4k gold, which is a pretty big deal. And when looking at the jungler difference, you have about 115 gold or 115 CS difference on Dardoch versus Major Danger. But because Dardoch has stayed alive so much longer here, there's a higher chance for him to make the experience play and gain some levels for himself at the very moment. It does seem like Dardoch's going to back right away after that play and get himself some CS. But now Clutch Gaming are going to look for this Baron buff. They want to get it for themselves. The only objective that is open for them. Illyrium has the teleport. He's on the bottom side of the map. Rodolph and Joey are playing in the mid lane, so try to trick OpTic to not know. But now OpTic knows that they're going for this Baron. Gate is on the other side. Crown's going to go on in. Cody Sun's going to be able to lock down the Baron for their team. Major Danger is going to be taken down. That's 5 deaths for him. Crown's going to go on forward, try to slow Sun. Sun is going to get slowed on up. Joey tries to follow up. Crown wisely dodges himself away. But because Clutch Gaming get that Baron, it should allow for them to hold off OpTic Gaming's pressure and allow for them to maybe make a play somewhere else. Even though they do lose Major Danger, it does help them out in the long run. 4 members still have that Baron buff to their advantage. It looks like OpTic Gaming is going to go right away for this tier 2 turn in the mid lane. Top lane looking for something. Is going to land it. Charm's going to go on forward. Essen gets himself away. Dardoch follows up with the Unstoppable, but the damage does not let the execute go through. And so OpTic Gaming pick up a turret and a kill, which is big for OpTic. Clutch Gaming making a little mistake there. It did seem like Joey was going on in onto Asta, which could have been a burst down for them, but Rodolph found the hook, which pulled him away from the charm, and that is not exactly what you want to see between these two members. Because in that fight, if Joey definitely found that charm, they were going to be able to lock him down and follow up with the damage that they needed to take Asta down. But instead, Asta picks up a kill for himself, finds the turret, and now that is a 4v5 situation at the very moment. The rest of Clutch Gaming just going to have to use this Baron as a defense now after that play, which is pretty big deal. If you can only use that as a defense, it's going to be very difficult to try to come back in this game at all. Down about 8k gold, not too bad, but still going to be very, very hard to come back through. One thing to note that is going to be hurting Clutch Gaming a lot is that Major Danger is on this Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai does play a little bit more for that early game and doesn't have too much of a tanky advantage, while Dardoch, on the other hand, can go fairly tanky at the moment and scale up into the late game. He won't have as much damage as he had earlier on, but he will be a good source of frontline for his team, which is exactly what you want from a champion. However, with Rek'Sai, he was not successfully able to get anything out of that early game, which is going to hurt them in this mid to late game, and in the long run, Like I said earlier on, OpTic Gaming making the wise plays. But now on the top side, Crown May looking for something. Sun is under the turret, but instead he's just going to clear out the wave. Not allow for anything to happen here. Next dragon is up in about 2 minutes here. Not specifically sure what that dragon is going to be, but we'll check in just a moment. Clutch Gaming trying to use the Baron to their advantage. What can they do next? Their next option is this top lane. They need to take it down. As well as on the bot side, Illyrium is going to take down that bot lane turret to counteract the top lane push. Always you will see in the professional play, there will always be a 1-for-1 trade of some sort. Kill for an objective, objective for an objective, kill for kill. You always try to find something just to go against the kind of plays that are being made from your opposing team. Ocean Dragon is the focus now. Clutch Gaming have the advantage. They're going to try to burn this down before any members of OpTic can make their way on over. There are about 3 members in the brush. Illyrium is here, and it forces Joey's ultimate out. Looks like Illyrium was able to bait it out, and Joey thought it was actually them. And OpTic Gaming will pick up the Ocean Dragon for themselves instead, as Clutch has to run for their lives after getting feared by Illyrium's clone. A little scary sometimes when you go on forward and don't actually know if that's the enemy or if that's about to pop blossom you or look for something maybe and have a fair amount of damage, because you never know. With Illyrium finally getting that Rage Blade for himself, he does still have a fair amount of damage with his abilities, but as well he does have a lot of damage to his name with those auto attacks, and if he finds a couple on you, you could be taken down really fast. So defensive ult by Joey, never a bad idea, just in case to make sure. And if OpTic Gaming decides to not take a fight anytime soon before that cooldown is going to come back up, should be no problem for Clutch. Now Hook is going to go out. It's going to miss. The perfect execute is going to be stealing by Sun. Crown's going to go on forward and now going to follow up and use it. Crown taking low, but he is able to get back to his Shroud. They want to look for a fight here. Featherstorm is going to come on out and follow up. Unstoppable used by Dardoch to keep himself alive. The Sun's raise from Gate was brought on down to try to push them away, but now Rodolph and the rest of Clutch trying to push on forward. They know this is a 4v5 and the Illyrium doesn't have his teleport, so they could possibly make a potential play here. Ward is on the opposite side, etc. Clutch Gaming looking for something. Gate now is the target. They got 2 members on top of him versus the OpTic making the way on over. Clutch now able to find 1 with the execute. Will he be able to find 2? No, they won't. Cody Stone keeps himself alive for a little bit longer. The stopwatch is going to come out and save him just for a little bit longer, but OpTic Gaming will slowly pick up the kills, and that is a triple kill for Asta. And now on the bot side, Illyrium keeping the pressure up. Clutch Gaming in a really bad spot after that fight. It's not exactly what they wanted to look for. They thought they could pick off Gate, and they thought the rest of OpTic was going to be further away, but then OpTic was able to turn that fight in their favor. They did lose 2 of their members to that fight. It's not going to hurt them in there. Pop Blossom comes on through. They will get the 1v1 in the bot side. Sun is able to flash away for a little bit longer. The shield gives him just enough health to stay alive, and the rest of Clutch Gaming's timer coming on down, so they should be able to hold their base for a little bit longer. But having the top lane turret fall for their base and possibly the bot lane very soon from Illyrium, it is going to hurt them. OpTic Gaming had the opportunity. Baron buff is coming up very, very shortly. That is going to be key. If Clutch Gaming can try to look for a fight and get a pick rather than forcing those team fights that they keep on trying to look for. If they're able to get 1 or 2 picks, then they should have no problem with getting onto the enemy, getting themselves an objective afterwards, and that's what we need from Clutch. Right now, OpTic, if you're going to try to control the top side, as the bot side's being pressured and there's no turret left on the top side in their base. Crowd's going to get pulled on up. He's going to have to use the Shroud to keep himself away from any damage that Clutch has to offer. Baron is a potential for either team at this very moment. Sun's the only one in the mid lane. They could look for something here. Now, 3 members of Clutch still in the brush. Hook's going to land onto Dardoch. He does not have it, or he does have his ultimate here. Joe's going to go into the back line. The ultimate's going to follow up. They're going to get 1,000 bounty for himself. And the rest of Clutch, this is what you wanted to see. Get themselves a pick, and that will be 2 kills over to Rodolph, but he will share the gold with his team and allow for them to get even further ahead. Sun almost finds the chance to follow up. Illyrium's still on the bot side of the map. That's one thing to look at here. He's still keeping the pressure up onto this turret, and it is going to hurt Clutch if they don't make their way on back fast enough. And this is what we mean by a 1-for-1 trade. OpTic Gaming realizing, Clutch Gaming, they get themselves 2 kills. OpTic is able to get 1. But here's the thing. They get themselves 1 kill, and what about the other kill? They trade it off for that bot lane turret and another objective, which allows for OpTic to keep the equalizer up. They still are up 6k gold. It was about 8k about 5 minutes ago. So Clutch making their way back into this game in a gold sense. And now this dragon is going to come up just 2 minutes or so. And this dragon will possibly be the potential play. Teleport's coming out from the Silas. Sun is going to be the one to teleport on forward. Going to make sure that OpTic cannot make any plays here around the Baron. Illyrium is still on the bot side. He has the teleport to keep it up. But because Rodolph cannot go against Illyrium at the very moment, the rest of Clutch have to stay together. And so there's no one to be able to trade against Illyrium unless it would be Sun, but Sun already used the teleport, so now they're going to go for the Baron. Illyrium now is going to try to get this inhibitor before the Baron. He's going to go away. Teleport's going to go on through. Now they're on to Alta. Execute's already been used. Cody Sun's going to pick up the first kill. Well, who's going to find next? Dardoch finds a kill for himself as well. The Unstoppable will keep him alive. He has Guardian Angel. Now Gate's going to follow up. Pop Blossom goes on through. Going to Sun one and a double kill for Crown. And that will be 4 members down of Clutch Gaming. And OpTic Gaming only lose 2, and they should be able to open up Clutch Gaming's base even more, and OpTA Gaming look to try to end this game. The timers now are on a fair amount. Major danger is not a big wall to get around for OpTA Gaming, so they should be able to push him away without a problem. Inhibitor is the focus. They keep the pressure up. Now the top side, they still have minions as well, making their way on over. Major Danger's going to have to do something. He uses stopwatch to keep himself alive for a little bit longer, but I don't think he's going to be able to follow up. He does find a kill on the Dardoch, though, before he gets taken down. And that's 2 members still alive for OpTic in the base, trying to look for something. Joey's able to find a knockup, not able to try to look for anything else. OpTic Gaming is just going to try to end the game here. They're going to try to look to finish it off. The nice double stun from him, and Cody's Sun to be able to pick up the double kill for his team. Illyrium trying to run away. Now the Root keeps himself alive for a little bit longer. Top lane and bot lane inhibitor has been taken down. Illyrium still trying to run away as Joey and Rodolph run towards him. Nice heal. Is able to keep up on Illyrium. Will they be able to catch up to him? Gate's still there. He uses the ultimate to keep Joey away. Rodolph still wants to try to get this kill. If they get this kill, that potentially means the Baron play for them. Now, there is an open base for Clutch Gaming, but at the same time, OpTA Gaming don't have the members to try to look for anything here. So it does look like Clutch Gaming, they're going to decide on what do they want to do, Dragon or Baron. Baron is definitely going to be their prize fighter. So now, they are spotted. Control ward is down by OpTic Gaming. Clutch Gaming could possibly look for finishing this Baron, or maybe even turn this fight in their favor. Sun now has the ultimate from Gate. They can steal it away. It's already done a lot of damage. The AP ratios are huge, and Asa will be taken down. Cody Sun finds another kill. That is 7 kills for Cody Sun. And the Unstoppable's going to go on through. He's going to flash in, and Cody Sun is the one to pick up the kill, and Dardoch's able to find it up for his team. And Clutch Gaming saved themselves for a little bit longer in this game. Now that Clutch Gaming have this Baron, they should be able to make their way on over to the bottom side of the map and possibly make a play for this dragon. If they don't get this dragon, that is fine. They still have the Baron to their advantage. They can decide, mid lane or bot lane, what do we want? Which one do we want to focus on? And if they're able to clear out some turrets, get some objectives for themselves, this Baron will be huge for them, as they did pick up a couple of kills as well, getting that buff for themselves. Rodolph did get taken down there in the end, but his death is definitely going to be worth it for his team. Clutch Gaming going to spread out a little bit, allow for Cody Sun to get himself more gold. As you can see, Cody Sun has so much damage here, and I'm guessing his last item is going to be that Infinity Edge. If he is able to finish that Infinity Edge fairly soon, it will give so much of an advantage and a lot of damage back over to Clutch to go against OpTic Gaming Xayah. Xayah has a fair amount of damage, but one thing that we keep on seeing OpTic Gaming have problems with is the amount of pressure that Clutch Gaming is putting, and also Asta has been walking too far forward in a really bad spot, getting caught out every single fight, which is allowing for Clutch Gaming to push on forward and get the kind of kills and the objectives that they need to get back into this game. They're still down 4k gold, but they slowly should be able to come back into this one without a problem. Cody Sun playing this super well. This man is a legend. Cody Sun knows what he's doing. He knows how to play this kind of game. He knows the late game is going to be better for him on this Kaisa, so he is able to get that Infinity Edge, finish off his build before Xayah can, which is going to be a big deal in this next fight if Asa is not able to get himself that Infinity Edge. OpTic Gaming waiting on the other side of the wall. Maybe looking for a play here potentially if Cody Sun walks too far forward. But there's a couple pings coming out here, potentially where they could be. Clutch Gaming wisely just going to use that Baron instead as a way to hold off OpTic, because if they try to push too far forward, there is a chance of losing their base. So right now, Clutch Gaming, what they need to do and what they need to look for is waiting for the inhibitors to respawn on their side, so then they don't have to worry about super minions as much, and also can potentially start making plays. And that's what's hurting them a little bit, is that Clutch needs all 5 members together. Joey's not going to be going on in. He's going to find a 4-man charm. Dark's going to follow up. Pop Blossom has been used to try to lock up the enemy, and now the follow-up for Major Danger is going to be able to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. He has a GA, so now he's going to follow up. Sun and Cody Sun going into the backline. Cody Sun taking a lot of damage. Execute's going to follow up. Dark then 1, 2, 3. Will he be able to find another? No, he won't. But he is slowly going to be able to try to get onto Illyrium. Crown's trying to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. Roloff using the stopwatch just in case Illyrium was going to try to follow the combo. And Major Danger finds the 4th kill for Clutch Gaming. And the OpTic Gaming now are in a dangerous position. They're going to try to push on up. They realize Illyrium is still alive. What is their only hope for OpTic? They need to push this in the base. But what do? Major Danger and Randolph are going to back away so that they cannot do this. They have Cody Sun and Joey to keep up the pressure and push out the waves. They still have the Baron buff. They were not able to stop the backs. There's still a couple of timers here, but they should be able to give themselves even more of an advantage and get back into this game. And that is now about a 0.4k gold difference. Clutch Gaming getting themselves back into this game. OpTic Gaming positioned themselves very poorly, or even in that kind of fight was not able to go against the kind of damage that Cody Sun and Sun have together. As well as, you got to think about, because Rodolph is playing as a top laner rather than a support, he's going to be able to buy items and get more gold than he would be as a support. So he's going to have a lot of damage to go along with his execute. That ultimate is huge for Clutch Gaming in those fights. You saw in the last fight, I believe it was OPTA and Crown were about 50% health, maybe even 60% health, and he was able to execute them from there, which is devastating for OpTic. Now Rodolph pushing on forward, maybe looking for something here. They want to keep the pressure up in the mid lane, as this is their advantage. They do have a large wave on the top side that they could look for. Now they're going to wait in the jungle, maybe make a potential play here in the mid lane as Illyrium is on the bottom side. Dardoch has his GA back up, as well as Cody Sun. That is the difference here. Asta and Dardoch have their their Guardian Angel still up, which could be a devastating fight for Clutch Gaming if they do not play this right. They're going to have to answer to Illyrium very, very soon, though, as Illyrium keeps the pressure up on the bottom side of the map, which is going to be a worry for Clutch Gaming. And if Illyrium keeps this pressure up, it will allow for OpTic to kind of step back, realize what opportunities they need to take before trying to go forward and execute with it. Now it looks like the rest of Clutch are just going to back off here, get themselves some gold. And Cody Sun already has finished his items, as well as Asta. But in the mid lane difference, you can kind of see that Silas is already down to his last item, while it looks like Crown still has 2 items to finish. The 50 CS difference is huge here against these 2 mid laners, and that's going to really hurt them, as Sun will have a fair amount more damage to go up against it. And you know, with the Silas, he's able to have a lot more area effect damage, and Crown's more focused on getting onto one target. And with the way Clutch has been playing all grouped together, they're not able to find that kind of play very soon, or have not been able to find that play at all. Baron is now being pinged by OpTic. They want to look for it on the bottom side. Illyrium's going to be the focus. He does have the GA. Flashes away to keep himself alive. Sun now going to use the Pop Blossom to try to get onto Illyrium. Illyrium's not able to follow up with his Pop Blossom as well. A nice shield from Sun will keep him alive for a little bit longer. But a lot of damage coming out of Illyrium, and Illyrium will be popped. His GA now is the focus, but you saw how much damage he has, and now OpTic realized that there's 2 members down to the bot side. They want to look for this Baron, as he is going to be the one taken down. OpTic Gaming find 4 members with that Baron buff. I don't think Clutch Gaming have any opportunity to try to make a play here. Major Danger go on the opposite end. They maybe look for something. Joy gets himself in a bad spot. Major Danger's on the opposite end, as 4 members still waiting in that brush. They're trying to get as much vision as they can. Now they're going to go on in. Cody Sun and Joy are going to find the front line as Major Danger. And the rest of the team of Clutch are going to go in the back of the base to try to finish off this game. They know that they don't have the advantage if the Baron is going to be sealed up. And Clutch Gaming will pick up game number 1 of week 1 of the Summer Split Academy against OpTic Gaming. Very well done by these